I disregarded Lin Yan's disability and married him, giving birth to a son and a daughter. However, everything changed when Lin Yan's first love reappeared at our door. Brother Yan, I cannot forget you. He became entangled with her once more, just as in a previous life. I, with good intentions, facilitated their reunion. Yet later, he cornered me with red-rimmed eyes and demanded, "Why can't my legs be healed? They could be in our past life." One can only lament that his rebirth occurred too late. On the day that Lin Yan's first love arrived, he, unusually, indulged in some wine. Drunkenly, he sat beneath the eaves, gazing at the moon for the entire night. I chose not to disturb him, succumbing to slumber until dawn. "Chanyu has returned," he mentioned at the dining table. "She is separated from that man and has nowhere to go. I wish to prepare the courtyard next door for her to settle in. What do you think?" Though he posed it as a question, I knew that should I disagree, a torrent of words would follow. Hence, I nodded in acquiescence. "Very well, but our finances are limited. We have yet to pay for Chen's schooling expenses, and you." "I am aware and shall not ask you for money," Lin Yan interrupted me impatiently. The following day, I discovered that the esteemed painting from his study had vanished. It was his most cherished piece, and the last of value. In its place were an assortment of furniture and household items, relocated to the adjacent courtyard. Standing amidst them was Chanyu, her delicate figure strikingly beautiful. The attire she wore appeared to be the latest style from a tailor. As I became aware of her gaze upon me, Chanyu's eyes traversed the low wall, landing squarely on my figure. 2. Apologies for the disturbance, Sister Zhaowan. Though I utter words of humility, my demeanor betrays a hint of pride. It is sufficient for you to understand. I responded to her with a mere 4 words before turning to the kitchen. That evening, Lin Yan returned with Chanyu in tow, who timidly nestled behind him. "Is my sister still upset with me?" Before I could utter a word, Lin Yan interjected, "She welcomes you. Feel free to stay without any psychological burden." "Brother Yan is truly kind to me." Chanyu gazed at him with her glistening eyes. I, indifferent to their exchange, called for my children to join us for dinner. Lin Yan's face momentarily displayed embarrassment, yet he brazenly spoke, "Please add another pair of chopsticks. Yue cannot cook." Chanyu eagerly chimed in. "After nearly burning the kitchen last time, Brother Yan forbade me from cooking again. The hands of a girl are delicate and must be cherished." Lin Yan frowned at her, but ultimately refrained from voicing his thoughts. Chener piped up, his voice sweet yet firm, "But father also said that one must possess basic survival skills, otherwise, one is worthless." Chanyu's complexion turned pale, and Lin Yan admonished, "Chener, that is unacceptable." I gently ruffled Chener's hair. "Let us eat. We shall speak of nothing while dining." After the meal, I instructed them to tidy up, as I would take them to the tutor's place in the morning. "Yes, mother," he replied cheerfully, his eyes brimming with unshed tears, though he stubbornly bowed his head, unwilling to let me see. My once placid heart stirred, rippling with a bittersweet ache. In my past life, my Chener had tragically passed away at the tender age of 6. Yet, I am grateful that fate has bestowed upon me a second chance. 3. If I am unwelcome, then I shall take my leave. Brother Yan, I apologize for the trouble. I shall not impose further. Chanyu dashed out, her eyes reddened.
"Yue."
Lin Yan called out anxiously, but she did not look back. I glanced at Lin Yan's legs, devoid of vitality, rendering him incapable of pursuit. Realizing the direction of my gaze, Lin Yan's expression darkened with anger. "Is this your manner of hospitality?
"Chener."
Where has your sense of decorum gone? How can you speak to your elders in such a manner?" He first chastised me, then abruptly turned his ire upon Chener. Unable to restrain myself, I retorted, "Is your hospitality merely bringing another woman home for dinner? Is it not a betrayal to neglect your own children while lavishing attention on others?" My questions fell like stones, and I watched as his countenance turned a shade darker with each word. "What nonsense are you imagining? My bond with Yue, forged since childhood, is not as sordid as you presume." I let out a cold laugh, wishing it to be so. The dinner had left everyone in discontent. Concerned about leaving an emotional scar on the children, I chose to spend the night with them. Minner, still too young to comprehend our words, remained oblivious, while Chener wore a frown, resembling a small bitter melon. "Mother, what is the relationship between Aunt Yu next door and father? Why does Aunt Chun say that when Aunt Yu comes, father will no longer want us? For, if father no longer desires us, Chener can still take care of his sister, right?" He was taken aback, struggling to suppress his tears. I embraced the child, gently patting his back. Good boy, without father. You still have mother. We can live well together. Chiner, still so young, leaned against me, sobbing softly. I carefully explained, everyone has their own choices. Whatever father decides is his own affair. Chiner is too young to interfere with the choices of adults. If father truly leaves, mother can still take good care of you. But does father not love me? Perhaps he does, but he may love others even more. It seemed he started to understand. With a sniffle, he looked at me, Mother. Are you not angry? Not at all, my dear. Having you and Minner is enough for me. I held him close, whispering many reassuring words until I was certain he could accept the situation without resorting to extreme actions. In my previous life, I had shielded Chiner from the adult grievances, telling him that Aunt Chun's words were mere fabrications. Until Lin Yan truly abandoned us. Unable to bear the blow, he secretly ventured next door, only to be misjudged as a thief. The one who struck him in the heart was none other than his father. Lin Yan felt no guilt, blaming me for corrupting the child. After all, I was merely a common woman, raising him poorly. With such a temperament, he would surely become a scourge in adulthood. If he could not withstand it, so be it. My Chiner truly could not bear it and perished at the hands of his own father. 5. Lin Yan did not return for 3 consecutive days. On the 4th day, I chose not to prepare his meal. Yet he returned, Chanyu still trailing behind him. In just a few days, she had blossomed, her cheeks flushed with vitality. Having grown weary of dining out, Brother Yan remarked that Sister Zhao Wan's sourfish soup was unparalleled. We have already caught the fish. Brother Yan is quite remarkable, managing to spear them by the river. She boasted, reveling in Lin Yan's kindness towards her. Lin Yan's gaze remained fixed on me, as if hoping for something. I was disinclined to speculate on his thoughts, feeling only a growing irritation that seeped into my tone. You did not mention you would return. I did not prepare your meal, let alone for an additional person. Lin Yan's expression shifted abruptly, his voice turning cold. Did I need to notify you in advance to come home for dinner? I slammed down the bowl with a thud. Naturally you should. The meals prepared over the past 3 days would go to waste otherwise. Our household has limited resources and cannot afford waste. While you may dine lavishly elsewhere, have you considered the needs of your children? His expression faltered, leaving him momentarily speechless. At that moment, Chanyu chimed in softly. Brother Yan earns his own money, far better than some who wait idly for handouts. The incessant talk of money felt rather base. Unable to contain myself, I rolled my eyes. Every piece of clothing and jewelry she adorned was the result of accumulated wealth. Was it earned by her? Enough, Song Zhaowan. How long will you remain obstinate? 6. Lin Yan's face flared with anger, his eyes chillingly fierce. Such fury was rare for him. A gleam of satisfaction flitted across Chanyu's eyes, her lips curving into an involuntary smile. Subsequently, Lin Yan produced a pouch of coins and tossed it at me. Isn't this what you desire? Here, take it. It stung upon impact, yet I remained unfazed as I bent down to collect it. For money? You truly cast aside your dignity. Chanyu's face twisted in disgust. I shot a sidelong glance at Lin Yan. Did you hear that? Your wife sacrifices her dignity for money. You are truly a commendable husband. Lin Yan's expression momentarily froze, followed by a flicker of panic. You. I interrupted him. If you two have no further business, please feel free to dine out. My humble abode cannot accommodate you. He hesitated, then spoke. What nonsense. This is clearly my home as well. Why don't you head back? Chanyu stared at him incredulously. Upon seeing Lin Yan's indifference, she scoffed. The ploy of enticing and then withdrawing, I have no interest in playing your games. I ignored her, but as I turned to leave, Lin Yan grasped my sleeve. Push me. His words were stiff, betraying his discomfort. I felt equally uneasy. After many years of marriage, Lin Yan had never liked to show weakness, not even allowing me to touch his wheelchair. It was rare for him to make a request. 7. You can do it yourself, dear husband. With that, I withdrew my sleeve and called the children to dinner. Lin Yan gazed at the empty pot, then glanced at the 3 bowls of rice on the table. He awkwardly suggested, the fish. Perhaps I should cook it myself. I merely nodded in response. By the time we finished our meal, the kitchen was engulfed in smoke. Chun'er looked at me with worry, while Min'er covered her nose. Mother, there's a fire. I patted her head reassuringly. Do not worry. It's nothing. I instructed Chun'er to take Min'er to play, while I cleaned up the dishes and headed to the kitchen. Lin Yan sat helplessly by the stove, his once pristine face now smeared with soot. I was not particularly adept at cooking. His tone was imbued with a sense of helplessness, yet tinged with a faint glimmer of hope. He used to possess that ability. However, since marrying me, he has seemingly lost it. But fear not, for in due time, you shall learn once more. In a previous life, after being with Chanyu, he gradually regained it. Just as Chanyu remarked, he couldn't bear to see her toil over meals, thus he took it upon himself. Are you still angry? If it matters to you, I shall refrain from seeking her out in the future. Indeed, I care. I replied with a hint of nonchalance, causing him to freeze in surprise at my candidness. Before he could utter a word, I added, I am not a magnanimous person. When you bestow wealth upon others, you deprive our children of their rightful benefits.
Ikare.
Deeply so. His brows knitted slightly. Is it merely about wealth? What of me? Do you not care for my feelings? I regarded him with a measure of bewilderment. Lin Yan sighed softly, speaking in hushed tones. I know you are upset about Chanyu. It is my failure to manage the situation. These past few days, I merely wished to provoke you, hoping you would seek me out. Zhao Wan, I have always found you inscrutable. Alas, let us strive to live harmoniously. Should his words hold any truth, then indeed he is changed in this life. Perhaps it is his lingering disability that makes him feel unworthy of Chanyu. Nevertheless, considering his limited time left, I am too weary to hold grudges. Yet unexpectedly, Lin Yan still went back on his word. On the day of Chin Er's birthday, the three of us awaited his return. An entire hour elapsed, and Chin Er sat by the door, his posture rigid with anticipation. Let us dine. I gently led him back into the room. Father must have gone to find her, right? He looked up at me, his eyes brimming with tears. I nodded, not concealing the truth from him. In truth, his absence does not trouble me. We wait only to confront the reality that Chen Er and Min Er must face, shattering the delusions harbored within their hearts. Mother, it is all right, Chen Er is not sad. In that moment of shock, a small hand slipped into mine. Chen Er held my hand firmly, a smile breaking across his face. I ruffled his little head. Happy birthday, my Chen Er. May you grow strong, healthy, and filled with joy. Thank you, Mother. I presented him with the long-prepared gift, a set of scholarly tools. Min Er, pouting, rushed over. Mother, where is my gift? Chen Er eagerly retrieved a small box from his pocket and offered it to her. Brother prepared this for you. You are so kind, brother. Min Er threw her arms around him, and they both erupted into laughter. It was not until we had finished our meal and the two children had fallen asleep from exhaustion that Lin Yan finally arrived, his face etched with guilt. Chanyu encountered trouble, and I could not stand idly by. I coldly began clearing the dishes, only to be abruptly seized by the wrist. Did you hear what I said? I scoffed. What has happened to her that necessitates your assistance? A man with disabilities? Song Zhaoan, stepping on his pain. Lin Yan shouted in anger. I withdrew my hand, coolly stating, let us part ways. I shall facilitate your union. I had intended to endure until after his demise. But observing the disappointment in Chen Er's eyes, I could no longer resist the urge to take the children and leave. What did you say? Lin Yan questioned, suspecting he had misheard. I reiterated my statement. He stood frozen for a while, before furiously retorting, do as you wish, and stormed off. We fell into a cold war. During this time, he and Chanyu became a couple, and whispers spread among the neighbors. Chen Er transitioned from sorrow to indifference, while Min Er remained unconcerned, demanding this and that from her brother daily. I quietly attended to the shops and properties under my purview. One night, Lin Yan, in a fit of frenzy, burst into my room and cornered me. Why haven't you healed my legs? His gaze bore into me, crimson with anguish. Without allowing me to respond, he muttered to himself, you healed my legs in the past life. I was able to stand. There must be some error, Song Zhaoan. I swiftly calmed my emotions. I do not understand your words. Were not your legs already damaged beyond repair? The physician confirmed their condition was untreatable. Lin Yan scrutinized me for a long while, ensuring I spoke no falsehoods. Upon releasing me, he oscillated between tears and laughter. No, they can be healed. He gripped the edge of his wheelchair, trembling all over. Song Zhaowan, my legs can be cured. You helped me in the previous life. Why not this time? No matter, I shall heal myself. I watched Lin Yan, nearly toppling over from excitement, narrowing my eyes. He has been reborn. However, it seems it is a tad too late. Lin Yan did not show himself for half a month. Chanyu could not locate him either. Thus, she came directly to find me. Where have you hidden Lin Yan? Song Zhaowan, no matter where you take him, he will never love you. I advise you to face reality sooner rather than later. I wished to ignore her, gently guiding Min Er away, but Chanyu blocked my path. Where has he truly gone? I do not know. How could you possibly not know? This is deliberate on your part. Do you realize I have not eaten for a day? I suddenly laughed, noticing that Chanyu's hairpin had gone missing. My gaze shifted to her vibrant attire as I remarked coolly, that outfit might sustain you for a few meals, but... I gestured toward the courtyard behind her. I intend to sell this courtyard. You would do well to depart swiftly. On what grounds? This courtyard is mine. Lin Yan possesses no wealth. After his family fell from grace, only a few books and paintings remained, which have been sold off over the years. The funds were primarily utilized for daily expenses, but I secretly saved to acquire properties. The house is a legacy from my father. I have the right to dispose of it. You have lost your mind. When Brother Yan returns, I will ensure you regret this. Admit it, Song Zhaowan. You are simply envious of me. What of having borne him 2 children? The one he loves remains me. I glanced at Lin Yan, who returned with a dejected demeanor not far away, a smirk playing on my lips. So certain are you? Had Lin Yan not been reborn, I might have believed you. But now, he is the reborn Lin Yan. Upon seeing Lin Yan, Chanyu's eyes immediately brimmed with tears. Brother Yan, where have you been? Sister Zhaowan wants to drive me away, claiming this home is hers alone. Lin Yan merely cast her a fleeting glance before his gaze settled upon me. Song Zhaowan, what exactly is the issue? Is there not a physician surnamed Zhang in Nancheng? Where has he gone? His words were laced with desperation, his hands gripping his knees in pain. I shook my head in confusion. I do not understand what you are saying. I have never been to Nancheng. How could I know anything about a physician? Brother Yan. Chanyu, unwilling to relent, tugged at his sleeve once more, her voice growing increasingly choked. Lin Yan's demeanor turned cold as he withdrew his arm. Miss Chan, please return. His sudden indifference struck Chanyu like a blow. Brother Yan, will you not care for me? Has she coerced you? Song Zhaowan, you wretched woman. What have you said to Brother Yan? Before she could finish her sentence, Lin Yan had shoved her to the ground. With bloodshot eyes, he glared at her, gritting his teeth as he spat out a single word. Leave. Chanyu, frightened, scrambled to her feet and hurried into the house, taking a few deep breaths. Lin Yan calmed his emotions before turning to me. Zhaowan, let us return home. He extended his hand toward me, trembling slightly. I offered a gentle smile. Young Master Lin, you jest. This is my home, and it concerns you not. With that, I swiftly walked past him and closed the door. Lin Yan's voice drifted in from outside. Song Zhaowan, the divorce papers have yet to be signed. You remain my wife. Open the door. Escalating this matter will do no one any good. I have wronged you in the past. Let us live well moving forward. Do not forget, I am the father of 2 children. No sooner had he finished speaking than Chen Er's faint voice echoed through the air. Uncle Lin, my mother's husband is none other than the father of both Min'er and myself. You are naturally Aunt Yu's husband and cannot be my father. Lin Chun. Lin Yan shouted in exasperation. I hurriedly opened the door, and Chin'er slipped inside. With a resounding thud, I shut the door once more. You take advantage of my limited mobility, yet I am fully capable of healing my legs. When Dr. Zhang returns, you shall not regret this. Lin Yan's voice was chillingly cold in his fury. Chin'er looked at me with concern, and I pinched his small face reassuringly. Fear not. In my previous life, I indeed healed Lin Yan's legs at the cost of everything I possessed, wealth, dignity, and even my health. Dr. Zhang from Nancheng was notoriously eccentric and reluctant to come here to treat Lin Yan, yet Lin Yan refused to seek him out in Nancheng. Are you not burdened by my legs? Had you voiced your disdain earlier, we could have divorced to spare you the torment of your veiled jabs at me. At that time, I was uncertain if Dr. Zhang could truly perform the miracle, and I dared not press Lin Yan further. Thus, I commuted between Nansheng and Zhangzhou. Finally, on a day of torrential rain, the door of Dr. Zhang's home swung open. He regarded me with a frosty demeanor. "Young lady, you will regret this decision in the future." I merely smiled in response, knowing how difficult it must be for such a remarkable man to live without his legs. If he could be healed, even if he chose to leave me, I would accept it. My only desire was for Lin Yan's well-being. Eventually, Dr. Zhang relented. After 6 months of living together, the expenses flowed like water. My dowry and Lin Yan's calligraphy and paintings were entirely depleted. On the day Lin Yan regained sensation in his legs, he trembled with excitement. He said, "Zhao Wan, thank you," gazing into his eyes, which sparkled like countless stars. I felt it was worth it. My only wish was for his happiness. When he could finally walk, Dr. Zhang prepared to depart. Lin Yan smiled and suggested that he stay for a celebratory feast. Indeed, he wished to remarry me. The previous time had been too hasty, and this time he wanted it to be grander. He wished to hold a wedding ceremony for our community to witness. However, nothing could withstand the return of Chanyu 4 years later. Lin Yan, having failed to ascertain Dr. Zhang's whereabouts, sought me out once more. "Do you truly know nothing?" "It cannot be." He grasped my hand tightly. "In my past life, all was my fault. Zhao Wan, please forgive me." The humility in Lin Yan's voice was a novelty. I crouched before him, peering into his hopeful eyes. "What did you do in your past life that requires my forgiveness?" He was momentarily taken aback, his expression turning pained. "It is all in the past. Fortunately, we have another chance." He quickly reassured himself. "Leave." The roar from the neighboring courtyard drew our attention. We turned to see Chanyu being unceremoniously tossed out, belongings and all. Her eyes lit up upon spotting Lin Yan. "Brother Yan, they are trying to expel me." "Brother Yan, save me." Tears brimmed in her eyes, and her pale face bore an expression of utter helplessness. The woman driving her out stood with her hands on her hips, casting a disdainful glance at Lin Yan before spitting derisively. "You shameless creature. Living off others while trying to seduce their husbands. In my decades of life, I've never seen anyone with such audacity. This courtyard has been sold to me by Madame Song. You had best leave at once. If I see you weeping at my doorstep again, I won't hesitate to strike you." She raised her hand, and Chanyu instinctively recoiled. However, Lin Yan turned away with indifference, his long fingers tugging at my sleeve. "Zhao Wan, why concern yourself with irrelevant matters? It is perhaps for the best that you have forgotten, but rest assured, I will treat you well from now on." "Brother Yan." Chanyu found it hard to believe that Lin Yan would ignore her. Tears as big as beans cascaded down her cheeks. I turned to Lin Yan. "What transpired in our previous life? You seem to hold no affection for Miss Chan anymore." His expression changed, a flicker of ruthless intent flashing in his eyes. Yet it was only for a moment before he reverted to his gentle demeanor. "It is nothing. I have simply come to realize that my wife and children are of utmost importance." I smiled and withdrew my sleeve. "Very well, let us return home." Lin Yan's face lit up with joy. He became attentive, selling off the few valuable items remaining in his study, handing all the money to me. He began to rise early and return late to compose poetry and create paintings. His reputation for talent brought in substantial commissions. As I observed the increasing influx of income, I gradually exchanged it for silver notes. It was only when news of Chunyu's admission to Nanshan Academy arrived that I hurriedly packed my belongings, intending to leave Zhangzhou. When Lin Yan staggered home, the carriage was already loaded. His face was pale, and he forced a smile. "Where are we going? Did you forget to inform me?" But it mattered not. I was back. Lin Yan was on the verge of tears. I, however, smiled at Chanyu from a distance. Her gaze was filled with resentment as she fixed her eyes on him. "Brother Yan, give up. She will not take you away." "Get away." Lin Yan suddenly pushed Chanyu away with great force. She fell to the ground but grinned maliciously. "What is wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? You were never like this before. You used to adore me, do you not remember?" She crawled toward him, using all her strength. "Brother Yan, I specifically returned to seek refuge with you. How can you abandon me? The money you earned from selling your poetry and paintings was meant for me. You promised." Lin Yan, momentarily unable to break free, glanced at me in a panic. Zhao Wan, I am your husband. How can you forsake me? Come quickly and help me. Chener and Minner kept silent, with Chener covering Minnie's eyes and ears. Seeing our expressions of indifference, Lin Yan grew furious. He suddenly pushed Chanyu away with urgency and hurried his wheelchair toward the carriage. It is all right. I have come to find you. We are family. No matter the grievances, they shall pass. I can still write poetry and paint. I earn well. Zhao Wan, do you not love money? When he was close enough, his wheelchair suddenly became stuck. It turned out Chanyu was holding onto it from behind. Brother Yan, you cannot leave. You cannot abandon me. But Lin Yan was infuriated. Let go of me. I will never trust you again. If it were not for you, my child would not have died. If it were not for you, Zhao, one would not have left me.
Chanyu,
You vile woman. Just days ago, she had been his cherished Moonlight, now transformed into a venomous figure. Chanyu was bewildered, her face a mask of shock and confusion. Lin Yan's hatred for her was so profound that she stood frozen in place, inadvertently releasing her grip. Freed, Lin Yan swiftly approached me. He reached out his hand, an expression of hope plastered across his face. I am your husband. Without me, you cannot go anywhere. If it comes to it, I will go to the authorities. Do you not wish for Chinero's future? Zhao Wan, listen to me. I truly will treat you well from now on. Amidst his hopeful gaze, I produced the divorce decree from my bosom, the characters Lin Yan clearly inscribed upon it. This cannot be. I never signed. Lin Yan vehemently denied it, but I merely smiled. You are welcome to file a complaint at the magistrate's office and have it verified. Can you truly not recognize your own handwriting? He stood there, struck dumb, as if struck by lightning. He likely recalled that the divorce decree had been signed during a moment of intimacy in our happiest days, when I had deceived him into affixing his signature. I stood at the front of the carriage, addressing our neighbors and fellow villagers. Today I, along with Lin Yan, have divorced. From this day forth, we shall have no further ties. With that, I turned my gaze back to him. Since his heart lay with another, I would not force him. I could only wish them a lifetime free from separation.
Song Zhao Wan.
I turned and stepped into the carriage, instructing the driver to depart. Behind me, Lin Yan's voice echoed in desperation. No matter how resounding the echoes may be, there inevitably comes a time when they fade into silence. As long as I venture far enough away, this day, I have awaited for far too long. I acquired a courtyard not far from Chener Academy, and procured a few properties. Without the burden of Lin Yan's medical expenses, coupled with the earnings he amassed over the years, it suffices for the three of us to live comfortably for the remainder of our lives. Yet that is still insufficient.
Imast ama sa dovri forminar.
Should Chener achieve success in the future, he will need connections in the officialdom. Hence, I find myself exceedingly busy. It was not until 3 months later that I heard news of Lin Yan and Chanyu. Chanyu pales in comparison to Madame Song. After your departure, she compelled young Master Lin to compose poetry, keeping the profits for herself. Poor young Master Lin wished to flee, only to be dragged back by her. Just a few days ago, they had a violent altercation. He was shouting about how Chanyu had brought him suffering, when it was evidently his own choice that led to this predicament, yet he dares to blame others. The other party rambled on extensively. Chanyu indeed caused him great distress, but not in this lifetime, rather, in the previous one. In the past life, when Chanyu sought him out, Lin Yan's legs had long since healed. The bright and captivating moonlight of his youth still shone brilliantly. His gratitude and guilt towards me faded with each passing moment, until our beloved children met their tragic fates. Song Zhaowan, you ought to reflect on whether you have committed any wrongdoing for it to befall your children. You could not even protect your own offspring. I cannot be held accountable for this. Yuera was merely washing clothes by the river. Had she not seen Minner fall into the water and sought help, you might not have even found a body. Do not slander her. She could not have harmed my child. My heart grew desolate, leading to our separation, while he busied himself with distancing himself from me. You healed my legs. Yet do not presume upon my gratitude. Even without you, I would eventually have recovered. He passionately pursued his love for Chanyu, but on the day of his triumph, he was reported. It turned out that Chanyu had not truly divorced. Fearing her husband's decline might implicate her, she fled under the cover of night. for she was actually the wife of a convicted traitor. Lin Yan's glory had barely begun to unfold before it met an abrupt end.
How could this be?
I had clearly. I concealed myself within the crowd, witnessing him hosting guests and observing his despondent state. Yet that was still not enough. 3 days later, Lin Yan and Chan Yu both perished in a mass grave, their lifeblood drained, leaving a foul stench. I, drenched in blood, walked towards the depths of the river, toward an unfathomable abyss. Chiner, Minner, mother has come to find you. Before this, I lived 3 years as a butcher. I transformed from a woman lacking the strength to lift a chicken to one wielding a knife with precision and power. The calluses on my hands had hardened. At last, I avenged my enemies. Alas, my dear children. My Chiner was so understanding. Just before his demise, he grasped my hand and said, "Mother, do not cry. Chiner is not afraid. Wait, in the next life, Chiner will still be your child." Mother must come to find Chiner. Minner was even more pitiful. When her little body was retrieved, she was already unrecognizable. Just that morning, she had been rubbing her eyes, looking adorably innocent. "Mother, I want to eat mung bean cake." The mung bean cake was ready, yet she never returned to taste it. How could Lin Yan know that Chan Yu's identity had brought him ruin? It was I who exposed it. I was also the one who severed the ties of their lives. I never anticipated Lin Yan would still seek me out. At that moment, I was preoccupied with making winter clothes for the 2 children, the finest cotton laid out in the courtyard to bask in the sun. The white fabric gleamed, warmed by the sunlight. It was then that Lin Yan appeared at my door. He had managed to stand. However, his clothing was tattered and his face smeared with dirt. Were it not for those bright eyes, I might have mistaken him for a beggar.
Xiaowan,
He exclaimed, and in his excitement, he stepped forward, only to collapse to the ground. He then rolled, clutching his legs. Upon seeing me approach, he bore the pain, managing a smile. "Look, I can stand," he declared, struggling anew. Yet, he could not achieve his desire. I glanced at the wheelchair not far away. It was evident he had not walked here. A disabled man had traversed from Zhangzhou to this place, which must have taken considerable effort. As I leaned against the door, I applied pressure, but Lin Yan suddenly crawled over, grabbing my foot. The pristine surface of my shoe was immediately sullied. I frowned, feeling irritable. Lin Yan recoiled, speaking with fervor. "I can stand. I will surely walk again. Xiaowan, do not disdain me. Did Dr. Zhang assist in your treatment?" My curiosity was piqued. Logically, even if Dr. Zhang were to come, his legs could not be healed. "No," he replied. He said it could not be cured. But I did not believe him. In a past life, it had been curable. You see, I found an even more skilled doctor, and now I can stand. I observed the sweat on his brow, his breaths coming in labored gasps. Looking again at his evidently weak legs, a realization dawned upon me. This was not recovery. It was a deterioration. Thus, I felt relieved. I unceremoniously shut the door, ignoring Lin Yan's cries. Yet he lingered at the entrance, proclaiming to anyone who passed that I was his wife. Now that I am disabled, I can understand why my wife would disdain me. I once managed to sell some paintings to make a living, but now that my art fetches no price, she no longer wants me. Ah, my 2 children, perhaps they too are listening to their mother. His words insinuated that I was a gold digger, ungrateful, tarnishing the reputation of our children. Chiner's academy is nearby, and I do not wish for his name to be sullied. Thus, I opened the door to see Lin Yan's face brighten as he looked towards Chiner and Minner, attempting to reach out. "Good children, why did you not call anyone?" I gestured for Chiner to take Minner back inside, casting a cold glance at Lin Yan. "When you caused their deaths in the past life, did you ever consider that you were their father?" He froze, staring at me in disbelief. You. I decided to be forthright.
Indeed.
"I have been reborn and earlier than you. I was reborn on the night of our wedding. I could have fled. Yet, in this world, if I eloped, I would have lost my place to stand, not to mention my dear children from my past life. I long for them. Thus, I took the initiative to propose sleeping in separate rooms. Lin Yan was delighted by this. Until a year later, to his astonishment, I willingly engaged with him. The days mirrored those of my previous life, and I was terrified, afraid that the one who came was not my Chinu. Fortunately, it was indeed him. He came to find me.
Lita, Minna also arrivet.
Song Zhaoan. Lin Yan's trembling voice jolted me back to reality. I smiled softly. You do not think that, after 2 lives, we could rekindle our bond, do you? Then why? Why did you still marry me? I played with the tea foam in my cup, responding nonchalantly because of the children, and also because you possess some wealth. More importantly, I must keep watch over your legs. Those accursed legs must not heal, and your life must be repaid. Thus my legs. He dared not believe, lowering his head. Finally, he understood why, in the past life, Dr. Zhang had silently prepared to save him, yet in this life shook his head, declaring him unsalvageable. Lin Yan suddenly lunged at me, but I was prepared, swiftly evading. His eyes were red, glaring at me fiercely. Why do you wish to harm me? Do you not fear retribution? I regarded him indifferently. In truth, you also perished at my hands in the past life. However, the night was too dark, and I was precise in my strike. You had no chance to see my face. Lin Yan, on the day of our marriage, I offered you the opportunity to regret. It was your own refusal. Even a tiger does not consume its young. For someone like you, the retribution should rightfully fall upon you. I turned and departed. How could I ever allow the legs that have harmed my son to have any chance of recovery? Lin Yan roared in the courtyard, his pain palpable, both physical and emotional. By the time Chan Yu arrived with her entourage, he had already succumbed to his agony, fainting from the torment. What have you done to him? She glared at me with venomous eyes, jealousy radiating from her as she surveyed the courtyard I resided in. I replied coolly, keep a close watch on your man, otherwise, several of the Wang family's nephews are searching for you, and I would not hesitate to guide them to you. Chan Yu's complexion turned ashen. The sordid thoughts hidden within her heart dared not surface. She had her people bind Lin Yan. You have divorced her and married me. How can you so shamelessly seek her out? Lin Yan's eyes blazed with fury. That marriage certificate is clearly a forgery. You deceived me. Chan Yu, abandon this foolish hope. I will never marry you. Enraged, Chan Yu raised her hand to slap him, but her gaze fell upon his legs, and a cold laugh escaped her lips. It seems all your inquiries about my well-being were mere pretense, claiming you would attend the imperial examination once your legs healed, promising to earn me a title in the future. It was all a ruse. Lin Yan, I believe you ought to discard those legs entirely.
With that,
she stomped forward with force, only to be halted by my outstretched hand. Lin Yan's eyes instantly sparkled with hope, yet he heard my frigid words. Once you leave my courtyard, you may strike or berate him as you wish. I fear they might frighten the children. Lin Yan was taken away by Chan Yu. Within a month, the nephews of Chan Yu's family came knocking at my door. It was then that she realized I had deceived her. However, she was overwhelmed with responsibilities and had no time to settle the score with me. My shop selling cosmetics prospered, and the manager from Zhangzhou came to procure supplies. Upon learning I hailed from Zhangzhou, he shared some intriguing news, one of which involved Chan Yu and Lin Yan. Those nephews were truly despicable, squatting in their house, consuming their money on indulgences, and even coercing the couple to serve them. Eventually, Lin Gongzi could no longer endure it and set fire to everyone. I listened quietly, unable to resist the temptation to offer him a few boxes of trendy cosmetics. The manager, pleased, continued to divulge more tales. He mentioned that Lin Gongzi originally had a legitimate wife, but he, emboldened by her affection, brazenly sought a mistress. In doing so, he drove away his devoted wife, only to attract such a troublesome woman. It was indeed a fitting consequence. I smiled again, gifting him a few more boxes of cosmetics before sending him on his way. In truth, even if Lin Yan had not ignited that fire, his days were numbered. For the past 5 years, I had secretly infused the tea he consumed daily with a slow-acting poison. Many years later, Chen Er achieved scholarly success. Our family returned to the capital. In time, Chen Er proved himself, and I gradually ascended to the position of a high-ranking matron. Before my demise, Chen Er, disheveled, approached my bedside. Mother, I had a dream where I returned to my childhood, where father kicked me. Afterward, I interrupted him. If it were true, would you blame mother for returning to find you? Chen Er knelt before me, cradling my hand. How could I? To be your child is Chen Er's fortune. That is well, that is well. The end of the text. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe. Until we meet again in the next story.